Hey, I'm Chris Ralph, the professional prospector, and today I'm going to tell you something that I think you'll really be interested in. You see, I own a few 100,000 shares of a mining company stock, and in the last, say, 3, 4, or 5 months, it's gone up more than 450%. That's an amazing amount of money. Are you interested in making something like that? Well, today we're going to talk about making big money in gold mining stocks. You see, there's various ways that you can invest in gold, and one of them is to buy gold and silver, or you can go out and find it. Most of my videos are about that. But one of the things that you can do is invest in gold mining stocks, and if you pick the right ones, you're going to have amazing returns like I have. Now, gold is up almost 30% year over year. Since a year ago, it gone up almost 30%. And there's really big reasons for that. You know, the economy is not doing really good, but it's not horrible either. Economy is only doing as well as it is because the federal government is just stimulating. And in fact, every government of the world pretty much, or at least all the developed nations, literally have their foot to the floor and they're stepping on the accelerator as much as they possibly can, pumping money into the system. We've got negative interest rates. Now, what do you think about that? You know, right now when you put money in a savings account, you get basically nothing. But if you buy like government bonds, certain government bonds, they literally will pay you less than the face value when it matures. So you buy $10,000 worth of a government bond. In 10 years, they'll give you, say, $9,900. Such a deal. You pay $100 to give the government your money. Such a deal. People are realizing that that's just crazy. And you know, in the past, people would complain, well, hey, it costs money to own gold. Well, you know what? When bank interest rates are zero or negative, it doesn't really cost any money to own gold. You're not losing interest that you would have gotten because there's no interest paid. And I got to tell you, it's a sinking ship. It ain't going to get any better anytime soon. So, I've made a bunch of videos suggesting that you should seriously consider gold and silver as an investment, and this is one of them, only today we're going to focus on mining stocks. Now, one of the big reasons that people like gold and silver is because it's a safe haven. If you invest and the money supply goes crazy and inflation goes crazy, and 5 years from now, you know, a gallon of gas, instead of being $2.50, $3, a gallon of gas is $40 or $50, and a loaf of bread at the store is $75, your gold is going to go up enough to make it worthwhile. And people like that safe haven. And even very qualified, very sensible investment advisors are saying, you know, you should have 5% or so, more or less, in gold or gold equivalent type of investments. Now, I want to be really clear, I am not an investment advisor, and this video is not investment advice. It's merely my personal opinions. It's what I think. Now, you're welcome to think whatever you like. You can disagree with me, hey, no problem. I make 450% on my mining stocks. I think that's pretty good. Maybe you might be interested in my opinion. But like I say, don't just take my opinion and not think about it. You should talk to an investment advisor and get investment advice for your own personal situation. This video is not investment advice for you. Okay? It's my opinions. Now, I've said that I will own gold and silver, and I do have a safety deposit box with my gold and silver in it. And I know some people tell me, you know, it's potentially there's a problem with what's in your safety deposit box. Yeah, well, there's potentially a problem with what's in your house too. Even if you bury it, even if you put it in a safe and cement it into the ground. I've seen people lose money that were going in like that. So you need to be aware, and I have decided that my preference is to put it in a safety deposit box. So I have gold and silver in metallic form. I go out and find my own gold, silver. Like I say, most of my videos are about that. But I also own mining company stocks. I buy them, I sell them, I see good stories, and I invest in things that I expect to make me money, and a lot of times I do really well. Now I admit my batting average is not 1,000%. I don't succeed 100% of the time. Nobody does. But we're going to talk about the different aspects of mining company stocks and how, maybe you might be interested in investing some for yourself. But it's work, and you do need to research it and find out what works best for you and your situation. I always suggest to people to listen to the experts. There's a lot of experts out there that have done a lot of study, that know a lot, and really are qualified to be investment advisors, and you should listen to what they have to say. But read up and learn on mining. That's what I'm suggesting is a good idea for you, is to read up and learn what you need to know. You see, there's a lot of information out there. Places like Kitco and some others have lots of information about what's going on in the mining industry. And one of the exciting things that has happened in relation to the price of gold and silver and other metals shooting way up has been that these mining companies have raised an awful lot of money. I mean, they literally go out and sell stock, and in past years, they've worked real hard and eventually found people to buy their stock, and were able to raise a little money. Well, nowadays, because of all the interest and the fact that people are investing in it, they go out to raise money, and boom, they've raised all kinds of money, and oftentimes a lot more than they initially planned on, because people are getting into it. Look, I'm saying that investment advisors are suggesting this. It's even been in the news recently that Warren Buffett, stodgy old Warren Buffett, who invests in pretty conservative stuff. Warren is not out there investing in Bitcoin and cannabis. That's not what he does. He invests in Ford and, aerospace and other things that are household names. And recently he made a big splash by going out and investing in a well-known gold mining company that's in production. I mean, it's not an exploration company. It's a company that's in production and producing a lot of gold. And the new high price of gold is going to make them a lot more profitable. And Warren saw this, and he put money down. So if Warren is seriously considering investing in the gold mining stock type of thing, I think it's something you at least ought to look into. Now, there's 3 different types of gold mining companies, general types. I mean, obviously there's overlap, but general types of gold mining companies that you can invest in their stock. And they are basically producers. That's companies that are actually actively mining and producing gold, gold and silver, and other products that they can sell. These companies are doing great because, hey, if you can make some money with gold at $1,500 an ounce, and gold goes up to $2,000 an ounce, you're going to be making money hand over fist. And a lot of the producers, that's exactly what they're doing. And they're doing great. And that's why Warren Buffett invested in a producer. The next category is explorers. And, explorers are the romantic part of it. They're out looking for something great. It's explorers that I'm involved in the most. And, they just really are, they take properties that maybe have a little bit of known something or good indications of geology, and they drill and explore, and maybe they find something and maybe they don't. If they find something good, then literally they'll have a situation a lot of times where their stock goes from pennies to a few dollars, and the 450% money I've made on mine, yeah, that was an explorer. And in fact, another explorer that I deal with, that I actually have some property leased out to, they went out and raised over $1 million in just the last couple months. They're going to be out this fall drilling on one of my properties, one of the properties that I have leased to them, and hoping to make a good discovery. And I think there's a good chance that they will. And if so, their stock will go from, 20 odd cents to maybe a few dollars. Could be very profitable, but it's a big risk. You never know with explorers. Some people will drill a few holes and hit something, but then when they try to extend it out to make it bigger and show that it's a mineable deposit, an economic deposit to mine, maybe it won't be. Maybe they just got lucky and hit a few good holes. That's the thing about explorers. High risk, high reward. If you're lucky, okay? The last category is royalty type stocks. And there's a number of these companies that basically they've bought through various means and for various investments or other types of things. They've gained a percentage of the production of a producer. So, maybe the producers, a couple of producers will have several mines, and a royalty company will have a 2% or a 3% or a 1% of the gross. And so usually they end up investing money to get that royalty. Sometimes they buy them from people who own them for other reasons. But there's a number of these royalty companies, and they can pay pretty good. And because they're tied to the price of gold and silver, if the price of gold and silver goes up, they go way up. And they're still paying you basically a really good dividend. And the dividend can increase if the money that they're getting goes up. So royalty companies are another interesting choice that a lot of people like. One thing that I should go into with the explorers is that they're often very thinly traded. So literally, if you have 100,000 shares and you think, I'm getting rid of all my 100,000 shares, you might drive, if you sell it all at once, you might drive the stock down 10 or 15% in price because there's just not a lot of buyers and sellers. So if you suddenly sell a whole bunch, there won't be the buyers to take it, and it will make the stock price go down. So thinly traded is one of the characteristics. The other thing is a lot of the explorers, they're not sold on the New York Stock Exchange or the American Stock Exchange. They're actually, a lot of them sold on the pink sheets, which is an independent stock purchasing type of thing. And they're penny stocks. Some of them are on the Toronto Venture Exchange, which is a stock market for companies just getting going. So that's an important thing to remember about the explorers. High risk, high reward, but there's issues about their stock. Thinly traded and not usually in the big stock markets. But most brokers can handle these. I mean, if you know the company you're interested in and you've studied up and you've figured out that you really want to take a chance on this certain explorer, well, most stockbrokers can handle that. And even the independent trading companies, you know the right symbol, you can buy and sell these. It's not a problem. And with these explorers, we're going to be seeing a lot of new discoveries. Now, I told you that they've been able to go out and raise a lot of money. One company that I deal with has raised $1 million in just a month and a half or so. And so the more companies with more money, they're going to be out making more drilling, more discoveries, more testing, more finding. And so, that may be another thing that makes you want to take a look at these. And like I say, Kitco is a great source of information for what a lot of these small outfits are doing. So you might want to take a look. Now you may say, hey, I don't have huge amounts of money to invest in. Especially on the explorers, maybe that's a good thing. You want to be diversified on some of these. Putting all your eggs in one basket may not be the best of strategies for something like this. But when one of these guys do make a discovery, it's very normal that their stock will shoot up 50%, 100%, several 100%. Even like the one I was telling you at the beginning of this video, 450% in just a few months. That's not that unusual behavior for explorers. It works out that if you hit the right ones, hit the right buttons and buy the right stocks, you can make some serious money. Now remember, I'm not an investment advisor and I'm not here to give you investment advice. I don't know your situation. You know your situation, not me. Talk to your investment advisor. He knows your situation. He knows what you can afford and what you can't, how much risk you're willing to take and how much risk maybe you shouldn't take. It depends on where you are in your life, how much risk you want to take. So be aware, study up, learn about it, because honestly, these are potential times, for the producers, the explorers, and the royalties. All of them are going to be doing great. Some of the explorers that don't make a discovery aren't going to be doing so great, but the chances for you doing well and getting involved in the mining industry are good. And that's why this is a great time to start learning up about mining stocks and what the opportunities are, and seeing if you can't get involved and get on the train before the gold mining train takes out of the station. So I've been involved in various aspects of the mining industry for many decades. And honestly, I've never seen the stock market any better than this. Mining stocks are an important part of my investment planning, my investment portfolio, and my income. And, it's pretty good right now. You might consider making them an important part of your investment strategy. It's not too late. The gold price and silver price have gone up an awful lot in the last few months, but it's not too late. Usually these things last for a number of years and culminate in really sky-high prices. Things are up, but we're nowhere near the top. There are plenty of experts that are saying, hey, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, even more, some of them. So a lot of people are predicting sky-high numbers for gold in the coming years. So it's not too late. It's not too late to get involved. It's not too late for you to get in, dig in, study up, talk to your investment advisor, and figure out what you want to do. But it is something you need to study up on and learn about. Don't go off half-cocked. Don't go off, not knowing what you're doing. If you have any comments or thoughts, please put them in the comments, because I'll take a look at them and I'll answer you. Now, in addition to the opportunity of gold mining stocks, there's also always the opportunity of going out and finding your own gold. And to help people learn to do that and gain the skills that you need to go out in the field and find gold for yourself, I wrote a book about that. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my book right now. So let me tell you a little bit more about my book. It's called Fistful of Gold, and I wrote it because I want you to be able to go out and find for yourself Fistful of Gold. And you can see that it's an encyclopedia with all kinds of information, pictures, and that sort of thing. It's not in color, but color would have cost me a lot more to have printed, and so the book would have cost a lot more. It's for sale on Amazon, and you can pick it up. I'll put a link in the description below. I also serve as the editor for a prospecting magazine. It's ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. And honestly, you should check that out. We got stories and information, legal stuff, everything you know to increase your skills as a prospector. I write articles in this every month, and a lot of other very experienced prospectors contribute to the magazine as well. So check the magazine out. Also, I have a website, and the website is at NevadaOutbackGems.com. I'll put a link for it in the description below, but there's gobs of information there that you will find useful in your prospecting efforts. Finally, I want to say that I really appreciate your comments and thoughts, and even positive criticism. Don't come on there and just toss out insults, because I'll just delete your comments. But if you've got helpful things to say and questions to ask, do write and put those in the comments, because I answer my comments to people, and you'll hear from me in responding to you. So if you've enjoyed this video and you like what you see and you're interested in finding out more, well then sign up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so they'll let you know when I post new videos. And like it and share it if again you see stuff that you really are excited about. And I'll be coming out with lots more new videos, and so we'll see you again real soon.